Started with the main event, a lightweight bout. Rafael Fiziev coming in at minus 150 against Mateusz Gamrot, sitting at plus 120. Over under 4.5 rounds, minus 105 for the over, minus 125 for the under. Rafael Fiziev, 4-1 in his last 5. He was on the run, lost to Gaethje his last time out at UFC 286 in London in a fight that was a close fight. I mean, he really could have arguably won it. I do think Gaethje was the rightful winner, but it was a close fight. Mateusz Gamrot, his last time out was against Jalen Turner. That was a short notice fight. He won a split decision there and took him down and was able to hold him there and won the fight that way. This one, it's a striker versus grappler matchup. As we all know, Fiziev got that great Muay Thai. Mateusz Gamrot got that great wrestling. And it will see which style prevails, but which style do you think does it in this one?
Man, right now I'm leaning Rafael Fiziev, and for a couple of reasons. I mean, you look at Fiziev, you mentioned Justin Gaethje fight was super close. I mean, Gaethje just knocked out Dustin Poirier. He's right at the top of the division. I mean, if that's Fiziev winning that fight, Fiziev's right in the mix for, next title shot after Charles and Islam square off in October. So he's a top-level fighter, and his takedown defense is good, and he's going to need it in this fight. He's got a 90% takedown defense in the UFC, and he's fighting guys like Rafael dos Anjos, guys like that, Renato Moicano, who's got good grappling. And even Justin Gaethje took him down, but I think that one was a little more unexpected on Fiziev's side. But he's shown that if he keeps you on the feet with him, he's going to be in there, and he'll make it close with any of the best strikers in the division. I like Gamrot's relentlessness and his ability to get fights to the mat and how good he is in the scrambles and how good he is on top on the ground. Like, the guy is extremely high level in that department. We saw it against Arman Tsarukyan. He got the win in that fight. I don't know if I thought Tsarukyan had a good chance to get his name called. It was unanimous. But all in all, I think Gamrot in that fight showed how high level he is with his wrestling and his grappling and just overall knowledge and IQ on the mat. Like, he's so good in the scramble. It's almost fun to watch when he's fighting another grappler. However, here, if he can't get the takedowns against Fiziev, I think he gets picked apart. I mean, Fiziev's got some nasty striking, the body kicks, leg kicks. I mean, he hits hard as well. We saw it against Dos Anjos. And if this is a 5-round fight too, so if Gamrot does have success early and lands a few takedowns, but as it goes on, starts slowing down a little bit, I don't think Fiziev's slowing down. I think he's going to be in there in your face striking the whole time. So if this thing, which I expect it to, goes past a couple of rounds, I think Fiziev has the ability to really turn it on and do something big in the last 3 rounds. And I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes him, but also I'm thinking this thing probably goes all 5. So, and if you're looking at damage and stuff, this is the perfect candidate. Fiziev's going to do damage, and Gamrot's probably going to be looking to get the takedowns the whole fight. So it just depends what judges are in there as well. But for me, I'm on Rafael Fiziev. I do like him as a fighter. I like Gamrot as well. I got to go with the guy who's going to inflict more damage here.
Yeah, I've never been a big Gamrot guy. I do respect his game because it is very effective, but it's not really a style that I think fans are going to be like, this guy is really fun to watch, because you watch him fight against Jalen Turner, like, guy was holding on for dear life. And I thought Jalen Turner won the fight. Clearly did more damage, had a knockdown. And it was just, Gamrot, when he gets you down, he just doesn't really do any damage. Like, when he has you down, especially at this level, like, he's able to inflict some damage at the lower level or even strike with guys at the lower level. It's not like he's been fighting at the low level. Like, he came into the UFC fighting Guram, lost to him there. But he just doesn't have the stand-up game to really stand with anyone in the top 10, top 5, anything like that. So that's concerning. And you also take in the fact that he's been knocked down 4 times in the UFC. Like, he's been knocked down in each of his last 3 fights. Granted, he won 2 of those, so he's able to come back and battle through it. But the guy shoots. He will not stop shooting. Relentlessness is there. Like you said, 31% takedown accuracy, though. That's not always like the greatest thing to look at. You got to take into account he shoots a lot, but he's not getting them a lot. I mean, we're using a lot of energy there. 90% takedown defense for Fiziev. And I think it really just comes down to damage, like you said. I I would expect Fiziev to do the more damage. The way that they've been judging fights really just comes down to that. It seems like nowadays, judging, if you get a guy down and you don't land a significant strike or do anything on top, it's like it didn't even happen. So if Fiziev does find his way on his back, you just got to not take damage, work the way up to the feet, even if it takes him, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, just get back up to the feet and land some good shots. I think in the clinch, Fiziev's super good with the knees, getting that tie clinch, should be able to pull off the victory here. And we've seen him in a 5-rounder before against RDA, who shot a bunch of times, 16 to be exact. I do think Gamrot's probably a little bit better of a wrestler than RDA. RDA is good though, but I think Gamrot's probably a little bit better. And Fiziev was able to knock him out in round 5. So I mean, he showed he's still got some power going into the championship round. So he's going to be my pick. But it's a good fight. It's a good fight.
Yeah. And I mean, the last thing I'll say too is Fiziev's got that style, and you saw it against Rafael dos Anjos, is even if guys do want to kind of stand and strike with him, he rips the body so hard, and he comes upstairs and he does a lot of damage to where these guys have no choice but to spam the takedowns and wrestling. Like, he gives you no choice when you stand and bang with him. So I think it's going to be all the same here. And eventually, like we saw in the RDA fight, if you can't get those takedowns and the fight goes on and you're tired, like, he's going to find the chin. And when you're tired and you get hit by Fiziev, a lot of these guys are going down, and I could see that happening here as well. I'll probably be playing, round 4, round 5 finish for Fiziev in this fight.
Yeah, watching Fiziev against Gaethje, it was clear like Fiziev's got a real speed advantage early in the fight too. So I honestly think he could finish him early if he's got that explosiveness and he doesn't really try to pace himself. But I do think with 5 rounds he'll try to fight a little bit smart and so he can go the full 5. So. But yeah, he's the pick.